Hey guys, Alex here. I just wanted to make you a video on an update on the whole weight loss issue. Um, First, actually, let me go ahead and apologize for this video's quality in advance. My mount had broken for my phone, and I cannot find all the pieces to put the thing back together, so I kind of jerry-rigged something all together. As you can tell, there's something like right there that you guys are looking at. And it's been a few weeks since I've posted anything, and I didn't want you guys to think I had lost interest. If you last remember the video that I made on the weight loss, I felt like I wasn't feeling well. And as it turns out, no, I was not feeling well at all. I have pneumonia. I had it. Technically, I still do, because I still got that cough, that wheeziness. It's wheezing. It's hard to breathe at times. But I'm doing a lot better. Like a lot. You can probably hear it in my voice. My voice is back. I did quite a few streams while I was off, just because I couldn't just sit around and do nothing. I have to do something. So, I tried doing a bunch of exercise. That day, I did do, what was it, like 1.5 miles of walking. I just went, around the block a couple of times, and that was good. I was sore, and then I just got progressive crappier, and crappier, and then unfortunately, I was bedridden for, I think, 2 weeks, and then after that, I was able to do stuff, but not a whole lot. So, yeah, that's why the lack of video on the weight loss. And that was a roller coaster, because I did lose quite a bit of weight. I want to say about 14 pounds. But, unfortunately, as I was healing, getting up and cooking and all that stuff wasn't really, is something that I want to say that I didn't want to do, but it wasn't something that I could do, just because my fevers were still up, and, so long story short, I gained most of it back. I would say about 90%. I, weighed in myself, and I'm at 519, so it went up, but then it went down, and then it kind of did that for a while. So I didn't count that as my start, because it's too hard to judge on how it worked out. I mean, obviously in the end it's not good to gain any weight back, but to lose weight just from sickness, that's not realistic either, because you're dehydrated, and you've got diarrhea and things like that. So it's not really fair to say, oh, I weighed this much, and now that I'm not sick, don't have diarrhea, not dehydrated, all that kind of good stuff, that I gained weight. So reality is, I just washed all that. Now, a little bit of a fun update is I did go to Las Vegas, for those of you who don't know what that is. I don't know how you couldn't, but living in the United States, but if anybody else views this outside of the United States, it's kind of like the adult theme park of gambling, and other gambling. Some people do pot out there. I heard it's legal. I don't really know. And then, drinking, gambling, escorts, are a thing out there. I've been in a relationship, so don't know. But I know that that's a thing too. Anyways, I was very proud of myself because I, at the time, didn't have a Fitbit. And I just kind of walked around. Like, this literally happened 4 or 5 days ago, so it's relatively new. I walked all of Fremont a couple of times because my group was a bunch of thin people, and I love them. They got no idea what being a fat person in a thin group is like, because not only do you have to maintain yourself and eat properly, because these people were like workout people, religiously, so I didn't want to seem like a big fat ass and be wolfing down shit, taking breaks every 5 minutes, and breathing heavier than I already do, things like that. So I was kind of on my best behavior. Anyways, for Valentine's Day, I bought my girlfriend a Fitbit, or not a Fitbit, a Apple Watch 3. And part of what that does is it tracks your walking. So on Fremont, we walked 4.5 miles, and that's a record for me, at least at this weight. So that is awfully inspiring to a person like me. And I get that there's a bunch of people who can like do laps around me, and like it's like 4 miles. Jesus, that's what I do just sitting at a desk job. So I get that, but for a person my size, that is quite an achievement, especially to do it in, I'd say a couple of hours. And by the way, the whole time we were standing too, so I mean, that takes into account. The only time we didn't was we went to this Finnegan's restaurant or something like that. Really good, by the way. They had a really good Cobb salad. Or it's Irish food. What I would consider Cobb salad. Anyways, neither here nor there. So yeah, it was a lot of walking around. We stayed at the Luxor, and of course, one of the people that we were grouping with, it was their first time in Vegas, so we got to walk the Strip. And what did she say? I want to say that was like 6 miles round trip. We didn't go all the way through. We stayed at the Luxor, and we didn't quite make it to the Wynn. What's that one with the Bellagio, I think, is where we stopped. I don't know, because I did partake in liquor. And I almost never take liquor, but when in Rome. So, for a person who's never drinking, one of those big slushy cup things is quite a bit, and I didn't know about the world of 121, so yeah, that was a lot of good fun there. But anyways, so back on to, before I digress too much, we had gotten back to Arizona on Sunday evening, and on Monday I got my Fitbit had come in the mail, so I ordered that off Amazon. I want to say I got the Ultra HD. There's some fancier ones, but I kind of want something that's waterproof and it can be abused a little bit more. So kind of the way I look at the Fitbits is, yeah, some of them, like the Blaze is really fun, and I would totally take that with me to work and things like that. But for everyday activity, it's just not practical, in my humble opinion. At least for me, because as we talked about, I'm going to start walking more. I've got a pool at my house. I'm going to be swimming. I'm going to heat that puppy up probably next weekend. And eventually I'm going to get into hiking again, but I would say I need about 50 pounds shaved off before I do. Now, I am still doing the gastric, and I'm as excited for it as ever, but I'm going to need to restart, or I don't really know how it works when you gain a couple of pounds. See, because when I weighed in, my sickness was starting, which is where I eat the very least amount. And, excuse me, hiccups. So I had lost a bunch of weight, and now if I weighed myself in, again, for reasons that we talked about, who knows. So I'm just going to say that I have to start as of today. Now, as you notice, it's relatively dark out, and I had just gotten off of work, and the reason for this is I'm going to start walking starting tonight. I'm going to wear my Fitbit. I'm going to update my progress, all that kind of good stuff. And every milestone, I think what I can guarantee to you guys is 2 uploads a week. That sounds fair. They may be fairly short, just because how much can I really talk about weight loss and everything without being robotic. So yeah, my Ulta HD came in, and the part that I'm really, really, really excited for is I joined the new Weight Watchers program, and that I had actually joined the day I made that video. I just have not really been following it because, again, it's not fair. Because I was eating things like broth soup, mashed potatoes, which is a killer on, you gotta kind of work yourself, so back up to health. And I was drinking things like Gatorade and water, and, water is fine, but Gatorade is not, and I don't drink that G2 shit. That stuff is gross. And I find most Gatorade gross, kinda. Except I like the lime a lot. It's one of those, I don't like many flavors. Actually, come to think of it, I don't like any flavors, really, aside from the lime. But that, you could hook an IV bag up to me and just pump that in, and I'd be happy. The other thing is with the Weight Watchers, I'm excited for the meetings, because I did attend one of the meetings, and I found out I don't really... Okay, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to kind of explain why sometimes it doesn't always fit. I mostly drink my calories that I consume in a day, which makes a lot more sense, because with the amount of food that I was eating, I was like, well, sure, I don't really eat healthy, but I don't eat like 500 pounds of unhealthy. So, and the explanation for this is, when it came to lime Gatorade, those, big bottles that you buy at the gas station and the grocery store, I would usually have one a meal, and or a soda of some kind. I don't really drink Coke. I do like Diet Coke and Coke Zero just because of its taste. But I also like Sprite, Fanta, root beer, so that's not that good. That's not good at all. So I was drinking that with every meal, Plus, I would drink Gatorade and soda kind of throughout the day. Now, I do naturally just drink a shite ton of water because I know that my body needs it, and I actually I'm a big fan of Aquafina. And no, they're not sponsoring this or anything like that, but I don't know. I know that the argument is water, but somehow that you can't tell me that stuff doesn't taste different than the stuff that comes out of your tap. Plenty of people try to, and I roll my eyes and say okay, and I just go about my business. Anyways, so yeah. So now here's where this might sound like, oh, he's doing both bad things. I do eat relatively hearty, but only at dinner time. Like, examples, out here in Arizona, a big Mexican chain is Filiberto's, which is Mexican food, and I got the Supreme Nachos last time I went, with no beans, because that's gross, and 2 tacos, and I ate that for dinner, and then, gosh, what did I do? I had 2 more tacos a couple of hours later, but, so, I would wrap that up as 4 tacos and a Supreme Nacho, which is pretty big. It's nothing small. Now, so to a lot of people, that's a lot of food. Like, I know my mother has been thin all of her life, so I know to her that is a lot, and I have family members who that's a lot. Like, going to Filiberto's or any fast food to them is a rare occasion, and to me, unfortunately, it's not. I work at night, so, and overnight at that, so food is limited, and it's either pack your lunch, which I'm gonna have to start getting used to because I don't want to burn all my points on Weight Watchers at Filiberto's and other places like it. And it just, I don't care if the points align. If you go to fast food every freaking day, you're not gonna lose weight. So, there's that. But here's where it gets interesting. So, you would think, oh, he's a big guy, and yada yada yada, he must do that all the time. No, I eat like that during dinner. I do not eat any breakfast, or what people would consider breakfast, meaning that usually I just get off work early in the morning, and so I just kind of want to go to bed. So, I don't eat breakfast, I wake up, and I eat lunch. You know what? Here, actually, this is going to be easier to explain. I'm going to give you guys real quick a rundown of how my meals go, and then that's what we're going to call it. So my breakfast is what you consider your dinner. My lunch would be kind of your breakfast, and my dinner, that would be your sorry about this. And this is live, so there's no editing. Better way to explain it. I eat dinner with you guys, but it is my first meal of the day. Then, lunch would be, I don't know, 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, and then my last meal, what you guys would consider dinner, those of you on a normal shift, I probably eat that like around, I would normally eat that like around, I don't know, somewhere between 8 and 10 o'clock in the morning. So here's how it goes. When I first wake up, I have that Filiberto's meal that I'm talking about. I just typically will have it a little bit later than what you guys have. Like on my way into work around 11 p.m.-ish. And so then I'm full. That takes me all the way to about somewhere between 2, 3, 4 o'clock. And then I would eat what is my lunch. And my lunch would usually consist of, I don't know, 2 sandwiches. You know, I try to eat some fruit. I always have. I like fruit. And, you know, maybe like a Rice Krispie 100-calorie thing. Something like that is usually what I would do for lunch. And then I would just totally skip breakfast altogether. Or my dinner. But what I've learned with going to these Weight Watchers, it's important to not skip meals. And I need to work on getting myself on a regular shift. I know that for personal life, and just because the world operates, 9 to 5. It goes later than that, but, us overnight people are totally alone. So, cooking and stuff like that makes it hard. And if you got a family, oh, geez, man, forget about it. The moment you get in the kitchen and you're making some pots and pan noise, everybody's pissed off that you're making noises, and everybody's sleeping. But let me tell you this, the minute they wake up and they're making a bunch of noises, well, that's just normal. So, different video for a different time, but I love hypocrisy. So yeah, with Weight Watchers, I have definitely learned a lot of good tips, and I go to my meetings. I went Monday night, and I will continue going Monday night because those are for the heavier people that have more weight to lose. So yeah, I'm doing Weight Watchers. That's going to help me lose my required weight for gastric bypass. And then after, I may just continue Weight Watchers. Honestly, I love the program. I'm going to make another video all about my Weight Watchers, but I'll give you the short version. Weight Watchers, the way how the program works is I have 73 points every day, which is a lot, but I'm a big dude, so, a lot more points. And then they give you weekly points. So if you want to, this is what I like about the new program, it's realistic. If you want to go to the restaurant, and dine with your friends, you can borrow from those weekly points. If you want to have some kind of dessert, something like that, you borrow from those points. And you're encouraged to use all your points every week and you will still lose weight. Now, combine so that's going to help me with my eating habits altogether, because it does teach you better choices. So that, with my Fitbit, I'm going to track my weight. Unfortunately, I don't own a scale that supports me my weight, so I'm going to need to keep weighing in at my doctor's office, and things like that alone is an incentive to lose weight. So, guys, this video is rolling up on 25 minutes, and I don't want to take any more of your guys' time. I could go on for days. I also would like to do my workout early in the morning, walk around the block before it gets hot. Arizona kind of sucks for that. And we are going into the summer, so I'm starting at a good time because I've got about 3-4 months before the heat gets unbearable. and I can slowly acclimate myself to the heat without stroking out on the sidewalk. So that's kind of cool. Anyways, guys, I appreciate the support. Like in the comments. If you guys have questions about anything, I'm a pretty open book. For those of you who are trolls, you know what to do with yourself and where to put it. Doesn't hurt me. But, you know, whatever you want to do. I don't want this to come across as begging, because it's not. I just would be really super cool if this starts to get some traction. So liking and subscribing is always cool. And yeah, guys, beyond that, just thank you very much for watching, if you watched any of this. And thanks for the support, guys. I appreciate everything. And take care.